survive even 2 months. This is what we discovered in 2008. We can live for more than 2 months without stability and live. We're going to be the greatest burden to our neighbors. So peace is paramount. We can't play with it. But apparently, our political elite have this, history of always manipulating violence and instability for their political survival. And this is one of those moments. I do know we got caught up in the debate about who won and who did not win the 2007 election, whether it was Kibaki or Raila. But the real debate that we didn't have was, how did we get to 2008? How did we get there? We got there because one side of the political aisle in Kenya decided to instrumentalize, to use in a weaponized manner, violence to gain power. And it was built into the campaign strategy. It was built into the entire machine of, winning power. It was not about democracy, it was about war. And therefore, we saw that happening. But more importantly, it was a culmination of nearly, or over a decade of the weaponization of that kind of violence by the Moi regime, if you remember. So in short, what one is saying that on the road to 2027, from where I sit, I see somebody trying to weaponize violence in order to win and retain power. And I think that is demonic. We should stop it.
I mean, Prof, 2007 is not far back.
Yeah.
As you speak today, there are Kenyans who are still in IDPs, who've never really gone back. We still have Kenyans who are reeling through the pain of 2007 post-election violence. Heck, the entire country still remembers that quite vividly.
Yep.
Yet, we have been given all the indicators. By Kofi Annan has given us an indicator where Kenya is at the moment. And one would hope that those in power, those with positions to deal with that through, because they sit in National Security Council meetings, they have intelligence, they're consumers of the same, they would be working to ensure that Kenya goes beyond 2027 as a peaceful country. Because, like everybody keeps saying, Kenya is greater than any single individual. Why the reluctance? Must we win these positions by hook or crook?
Well, I don't think our elite care much about that, because it's a history we have built. I remember in another forum I was saying that the whole element of using violence instrumentally as a way of getting power harkens back to the colonial period. Kenyans will remind you of something called pseudo Mau Mau. Pseudo Mau Mau were goons. And the British brought in somebody called Ian Henderson. And Ian Henderson had gained great skills in Malaysia and Indonesia, in those, what we are calling young tigers. And they were imported into Kenya to basically destroy the Mau Mau. And these were not part of the military. They are not part of the police. They are not part of the intelligence. So it's simply goons who were brought in. And they hired local goons. They didn't. It's not white people who came. It was Ian Smith, who was himself. Ian Henderson, who was, British. The rest were Kikuyus, actually. Let's put it that way. They were all Kikuyus. And these are the goons, basically, who killed Dedan Kimathi, or who shot Dedan Kimathi before he was hanged. They are the ones who killed many Mau Mau generals, including my uncle, Ihura. And the reason why they were brought was basically to act in that rogue manner beyond the law. that they cannot be caught by the law. So Goonism has that long history, but it was perfected under Moi when multi-party democracy came in. And the idea was to ensure that the vote does not count. So we wrote a book called Killing the Vote, sponsored by the Kenya Human Rights Commission. And Killing the Vote was basically the strategic calculations of how to bring the Karenjin warriors, the Masai Morans, the Amachuma, the Chinkorolo, the Mongikis and all, to create a pandemonium so that democracy does not thrive and that the incumbent survive on that violence. I see the rewriting of history. That script is being rewritten. And you can see kind of making democracy not work so that they can favor the incumbent. Can I tell you what I see? Because I've been on this political landscape for a while. The idea is to reintroduce Kibaki's Grand Coalition. Mm-hmm. That it can't come without violence. Mm. Why do I say so? I have been training all arms of government for the last 15 years. Training from the military to the intelligence to the police force. I've been to Kagwanja and so on. And I know we are capable as a country to ensure that there is permanent peace within our borders and that none of our citizens can die recklessly because of so-called goons. So there is a deliberate effort to let goons loose on our population. Why? Politics. Why? Retaining power. Why? Looking for justification as to why people must talk and then talk peace. We don't talk peace. We have put systems in place. Our military can protect our borders. Our police force, harnessed to their numbers and to their strength, can protect every citizen in our country. Why it is not happening has only a political logic. Mm. And the political logic is to push this country to the precipice. Get the Americans, the Europeans, and the rest of the world to put pressure on Kenya to talk. And when the Kenya talks, then somebody is going to benefit. So that's the way the two-term will be born. Mm. So we're seeing the midwifing of the two-term through violence. God forbid. Because we can see through it. Mm. We can see through it. We didn't see through 2007 coming, the 2008. Mm. And therefore, we give ourselves a benefit of doubt. We talked and agreed that let's now put our house in order. There were so many institutions that were not in place. Mm. In our case, for example, a new constitution, the certain approach to governance, which we needed to put in place. So we did. So we accepted. But 2027, we are mature. We can see through demonic strategies. And Kenya does not deserve that.
Are you saying that